All right, so today we're going to be going on a deep dive.
Okay.
And we're going to be exploring health and longevity tips.
Right.
And these tips are going to be pulled straight from the Diary of a CEO podcast.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so we're looking at some of the most popular moments of 2023.
Okay.
And we're really trying to pull out those practical, game-changing insights from top experts in their fields.
Okay. Cool. I'm excited.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I think this is going to be really fun.
Yeah.
We're going to be talking about a bunch of different stuff. We're going to be busting some myths about exercise. We're going to be talking about fasting.
Okay.
And even how sleep can impact weight gain.
Sounds good.
Yeah, let's just jump right into it.
Yeah, it's amazing how much we think we know about these topics, and then someone like Dr. Tim Spector comes along and just turns everything on its head.
Exactly.
I mean, to hear a renowned geneticist claim that exercise has like minimal impact on weight loss.
I know.
It really makes you stop and think.
It really does.
Yeah.
It really does. Because I think a lot of us have built our entire fitness routine around burning calories being the key to managing our weight.
Exactly.
But Dr. Spector's suggesting that we should be focusing more on what we're eating.
Interesting.
So aiming for a diet that has about 16% protein, 30 grams of fiber, and less than 5% added sugar.
That makes sense.
Yeah. And what I find really fascinating is he has this perspective on why this like calories in, calories out model has persisted for so long. And he's suggesting that maybe it benefits these big food corporations to keep us focused on burning off these calories instead of questioning like, you know, the calorie dense processed foods that they're selling.
Yeah, that's a really good point.
It is. It's interesting.
Yeah.
And speaking of things we might want to rethink,
Dr.
Spector also had some strong opinions about artificial sweeteners.
Yeah, what did he say?
Well, he's suggesting that they're not the healthy alternative that they're often marketed to be.
Interesting.
And this is where gut health comes into play.
Oh, okay.
So we're learning more and more about how important the gut microbiome is for overall health. And it seems that artificial sweeteners might actually disrupt that delicate balance.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And some studies are even suggesting that they might increase sugar cravings.
Oh, no, that's not good.
I know.
Especially late at night.
Yeah.
You're trying to avoid those things.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So maybe ditching the diet soda is a good place to start.
Probably a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of cravings, though, I've personally found that fasting can be really helpful to break that cycle.
Okay.
And Dr. Mindy Pelz really breaks it down in her episode of the Diary of a CEO podcast. She explains all the different types of fasting and their unique benefits.
Okay.
I mean, there's everything from intermittent fasting to autophagy fasting to dopamine reset fasting.
A lot of different types. Yeah.
It is, but what's important is that we don't get lost in the terminology.
Right.
Each type of fasting is simply leveraging the body's natural processes in different ways.
Okay.
So, for example, with intermittent fasting, you're essentially just giving your digestive system a break for a certain period each day, which can have a whole variety of benefits.
Okay, cool.
From improving insulin sensitivity to boosting your energy levels.
That's awesome.
And then there's autophagy fasting, which Dr. Pelz describes as like a cellular spring cleaning.
Oh, wow. I like that.
Yeah. So when we fast for an extended period, our cells actually start to break down.
Oh, wow.
And recycle old or damaged components.
So it's like giving our bodies a chance to reset.
Exactly.
At a cellular level.
At a cellular level.
That's amazing.
I know. And some research is even suggesting that this process might play a role in slowing down the aging process.
That's really interesting.
It is. Yeah. She also connected fasting to something called the thrifty gene hypothesis.
Okay. What's that?
So this is really interesting. It's this theory about how our genes might be wired for periods of feast and famine.
Okay.
So Dr. Pelz is suggesting that our bodies might actually thrive on these cycles of eating and not eating.
Interesting.
Rather than the constant grazing that's so common in our modern world.
Yeah, it's very different than how our ancestors would have eaten.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, if fasting is like hitting the reset button on our cells, maybe sleep is like recharging the batteries.
Okay, I like that analogy.
Because sleep expert Matthew Walker really blew my mind talking about the link between sleep deprivation and weight gain.
Oh, interesting.
I had no idea that those late night snacks we're doing so much more damage than just messing with my sleep schedule.
Yeah, well, I think most of us know that sleep is really important for our energy levels and our cognitive functions.
Yeah.
But we don't always think about the impact it has on our weight.
Yeah, that's true.
But Walker explains that when we're sleep deprived, our hormone levels actually go haywire.
Oh, wow.
So leptin, the hormone that tells us we're full, actually decreases.
Oh, no.
And ghrelin, the hormone that makes us feel hungry, increases.
So we're getting like double whammied there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's like your body's literally telling you to eat more.
I know.
Even when you don't need to.
Yeah, no wonder it's so hard to resist those cravings when you're exhausted.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And what's really fascinating is that Walker also points to this brain imaging study that shows how sleep deprivation affects our reward centers.
Interesting.
So when sleep-deprived individuals are shown images of unhealthy foods, their brains light up like Christmas trees.
Oh, my God.
Showing this increased craving.
Oh, wow.
At the same time, the areas of the brain that are responsible for impulse control are suppressed.
So it's like our willpower is just shot.
Pretty much.
Yeah, this is challenging everything I thought I knew about willpower and making healthy choices.
It's crazy, right?
It is.
Yeah.
So even if I'm like following a healthy diet and exercising regularly, if I'm not getting enough sleep, I could still be like sabotaging my weight management goal.
That's what the research suggests.
Wow.
In fact, Walker even suggests that people who are sleep deprived tend to lose more muscle mass and retain more fat.
Oh, no.
Even when they're dieting.
Oh, my God.
So getting enough rest is absolutely crucial.
Wow.
If you want to optimize your health and your body composition.
Okay, so we need to prioritize sleep.
Yes.
If we want to feel our best.
Definitely.
And maintain a healthy weight.
Yeah.
What are some practical steps that we can take to improve our sleep hygiene?
So I know Walker mentioned like sticking to a consistent sleep schedule.
Yes, he did.
But what else can we do?
Yeah.
One of the simplest but most effective things you can do is create a dark and cool bedroom environment.
Okay.
So think blackout curtains.
Yeah.
A comfortable temperature, maybe even a white noise machine to block out any distracting sounds.
That's a good idea.
And just as important as the environment is like a relaxing bedtime routine.
Okay.
So this could be anything from taking a warm bath to reading a book, listening to calming music. The key is to signal to your body and mind that it's time to wind down.
Right. It's about creating those.
Exactly.
Yeah. I'm starting to see a theme here.
Oh, yeah. What's that?
It's about giving our bodies these clear signals.
Yeah.
And creating an environment that supports our goal.
Exactly. It's about creating a lifestyle
that's
conducive to health and well-being.
I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've covered diet, we've covered exercise, we've covered sleep.
Yep.
But there's another incredibly important aspect of health that we haven't touched on yet.
What's that?
And that is brain health.
Oh, okay.
And Dr. Daniel Amen, a leading neuroscientist who has scanned more brains than anyone else in the world.
That's amazing.
Makes a very compelling case for why we need to take care of our brains.
Right.
Just as much as we take care of our bodies.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
He seems very passionate about this topic.
He is.
Epic.
He is. And he stresses that we have more power than we realize to make our brains healthier.
Yeah.
And he's not just talking about things like puzzles and brain games.
Okay.
He's pointing out that everyday choices, like what we eat and drink, can have a significant impact on brain function.
So what are some of the things he recommends?
Well, he highlights that things we consume regularly, like sugar, caffeine, and nicotine, can actually negatively impact blood flow to the brain.
Interesting.
And maintaining good blood flow is essential for a healthy brain, especially as we age.
That makes sense.
He even drew this parallel between the aging process and the progression of brain damage, highlighting the importance of prioritizing brain health throughout our lifespan.
That's a good point.
So how do we go about improving blood flow to the brain?
Yeah, what did he say?
Well, first and foremost, it's about minimizing those things that hinder it.
Okay.
So like excessive sugar, caffeine, and nicotine.
Of course.
But he also suggests incorporating things that can actively boost brain health, such as regular exercise.
Okay, so exercise is good for the brain too.
It seems to be a recurring theme.
It does, yeah.
Yeah, does he talk about anything beyond the standard recommendations?
Yeah, he specifically suggested exploring ginkgo biloba, which is an herbal supplement known for its positive effects on circulation and cognitive function.
Interesting.
Even something called hyperbaric oxygen therapy.
Oh, yeah.
Which involves breathing pure oxygen in a pressurized chamber
right.
to enhance blood flow and oxygen delivery to the brain.
Okay, those are definitely things I'll have to look into.
Yeah, for sure.
He didn't stop there, though, did he?
No, he didn't.
His approach seems very holistic.
It is. He went on to talk about the broader factors that contribute to brain health, including social connection, omega-3 fatty acids, and even good dental hygiene.
It's all connected.
It is. It's all connected.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's fascinating. Yeah. You know, when I first started digging into these sources, I was struck by Gary Brecka's superhuman protocol.
Oh, yeah. What'd you think?
It almost sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie.
It does, doesn't it?
It really does.
Yeah, it's actually inspired by UFC president Dana White's impressive health transformation. And it focuses on 3 key elements. Magnetism, oxygen, and light.
Yeah. And I know that White invested in some pretty high-tech equipment, like PEMF mats and hyperbaric oxygen chambers.
Right.
Is this something that's only accessible to those with a celebrity budget?
Well, while specialized equipment can certainly enhance these practices, Brecka emphasizes that there are free and accessible good alternatives.
That's good.
For those of us who don't have access to those resources.
That's great to hear. So what are some of those alternatives?
So for the magnetism aspect, Brecka highlights the importance of grounding, which simply involves connecting with the Earth's natural energy by walking barefoot on grass, soil, or sand.
Interesting.
This practice, he argues, helps us discharge accumulated electrical charges and promote a more alkaline state in the body.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And what about the oxygen component?
So I know White used a hyperbaric oxygen chamber.
He did, yeah.
But are there like simpler ways to increase oxygen flow?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Brecka advocates for breathwork as a powerful and readily available way to increase oxygen flow and promote a sense of calm and focus.
That makes sense.
You don't need any special equipment or training.
Right.
You can simply practice deep diaphragmatic breathing for a few minutes each day.
And what about light?
I
know red light therapy has become quite popular these days.
It has.
Are there natural alternatives to that?
Yes. Brecka stresses the importance of getting sunlight, especially first thing in the morning, to reset our circadian rhythms and optimize hormone production.
It's so interesting how much of this comes back to aligning ourselves with the natural world and our own biology.
Exactly. It's about working with our bodies rather than against them.
I love that.
Yeah.
You know, reading about Dana White's transformation got me curious about cold plunging.
Oh, yeah.
It seems to be everywhere these days.
It's very popular.
It is.
Yeah.
Brecka mentioned some interesting benefits that go beyond just the anti-inflammatory effects that I'm used to hearing about.
So what did he say?
Well, he explained that the benefits go far beyond reducing inflammation. He talked about how cold plunging triggers the release of cold shock proteins.
Oh, wow.
Which act like internal cleanup crews, removing damaged molecules, and promoting cellular repair.
So it's like giving your body a deep clean.
I'm always up for finding ways to help my body clean house.
Me too.
What else did he say?
He also explained how cold plunging activates brown fat, which is a type of fat that burns calories to generate heat, and it can have a significant positive impact on mood.
Wow.
It's like a triple whammy for health and well-being.
So maybe I need to get over my fear of cold water and give it a try.
Yeah, I think you should.
Okay. All right. So I think it's time to shift gears a bit.
Okay, sounds good.
And talk about stress.
All right.
I know you flagged Rangan Chatterjee's anecdote about executives literally dropping dead from stress.
I did.
That's a pretty sobering thought.
It really is, and it underscores the point that chronic stress isn't just an inconvenience.
Right.
It's a serious health threat.
Yeah.
Chatterjee explains that stress triggers this cascade of physiological responses in the body, particularly the release of cortisol.
Which is a hormone that can have some pretty detrimental effects when it's chronically elevated.
So it's not just about feeling stressed out. It's about the actual physical impact that stress has on our bodies.
Exactly. So when cortisol is chronically elevated, It contributes to inflammation throughout the body.
Oh, wow.
It disrupts sleep, and it even increases the storage of belly fat.
Oh, so that stubborn belly fat that so many people struggle to lose, even with diet and exercise, could actually be linked to stress.
That's precisely what Chatterjee suggests.
Wow.
And what I find particularly fascinating is his concept of stress contagion.
Stress contagion?
Yeah. He explained that stress can actually spread from person to person, much like the way menstrual cycles can synchronize in women who live or work closely together.
Yeah.
He even suggests that cortisol might act in a similar way.
Meaning that we can literally catch stress from others.
If our boss is stressed out, we're more likely to feel stressed ourselves, even if we don't have anything.
Even if you have nothing to be stressed about. Yeah.
Wow.
It's crazy, right?
This is blowing my mind.
Yeah.
It's like stress is this invisible force that we're constantly exchanging with each other.
We are.
Even without realizing it.
And Chatterjee emphasized that leaders in particular have a responsibility to manage their stress effectively.
Yeah.
Not just for their own health, but for the well-being of their teams.
It's a powerful reminder.
It is.
That we need to take stress management seriously.
Yes.
And that it's not just about our individual well-being, but also about the well-being of those around us.
Absolutely.
All this talk about health and longevity makes me wonder, what's the point of living a long life if we're not happy? Thankfully, Mo Gaudat, former chief business officer at Google X, has cracked the code to happiness.
Oh, wow.
With his happiness equation.
Okay, what is it?
It sounds like a magic formula.
It does.
But it's actually surprisingly simple.
Okay.
Happiness equals or is greater than your perception of the events of your life.
Okay.
Minus your expectations of how life should be.
Interesting.
So it's not about what happens to us, but how we choose to perceive those events and what we expect from life.
Exactly. And the problem is that we often sabotage our own happiness by clinging to what God calls grand illusions and blind spots that distort our perception of reality.
Okay.
He gives a great example of how this works.
Okay.
Imagine two people stuck in traffic.
Okay.
One person is furious, stressed, letting it ruin their day, while the other person uses the time to listen to a podcast or catch up on phone calls. Same event.
Yeah.
Two completely different experiences.
Oh, I can definitely relate to that example.
Can you?
I've had mornings where, like, minor inconvenience, like missing the train, throws my whole day off.
Right.
It's like my expectations for how the morning should go are completely shattered.
Exactly.
And I let it dictate my mood for hours.
That's exactly what Gaudat's talking about.
Yeah.
Our happiness isn't determined by the event itself.
Right.
But by our perception of that event and how it aligns with our expectations.
This is making me think about all the times I've been so focused on the negative aspects of a situation that I completely overlook the positive.
Exactly.
It's like our brains are wired to zero in on the bad stuff.
Our brains are actually wired to prioritize negative information.
Wow.
It's an evolutionary adaptation that helped keep our ancestors safe from threats. But in our modern world, it often leads to unnecessary stress and unhappiness.
Yeah.
We fixate on the things that are going wrong and overlook the good things that are happening right in front of us.
It sounds like being aware of these grand illusions and blind spots is the first step.
It is.
To breaking free from this negativity trap.
Absolutely. Once we start to recognize these patterns in our own thinking, we can start to challenge them and choose a more balanced and positive perspective.
And that's when we can really start to experience lasting happiness.
Exactly.
No matter what life throws our way.
That's the goal.
That is the goal.
Yeah.
This is already so much to think about.
No, right.
But we're just getting started.
We're just scratching the surface. There's so much more to unpack from these incredible experts.
I can't wait to dive deeper into these insights and explore what they mean for you and your journey to a healthier, happier life.
It's going to be good.
I think so.
Yeah. You know, one thing that really struck me as we were preparing for this deep dive was this emphasis on the interconnectedness of our physical, mental, and emotional well-being.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm starting to see those connections everywhere now.
Okay.
Like with Mogadat's happiness equation,
right?
It highlights how much our internal landscape, our thoughts and our beliefs impact not just our happiness, but potentially even our physical health.
It's a powerful reminder that our minds and bodies aren't separate entities. They're constantly influencing each other.
It's easier said than done, though, right?
It is.
Like changing those ingrained thought patterns and letting go of those grand illusions can feel really challenging.
Can be tough.
Especially the illusion of control.
Yeah.
I think a lot of us, myself included, fall into the trap of thinking we can control everything in our lives.
It's a common trap, especially for those of us who are driven and goal-oriented.
Yeah.
But the reality is that life is full of uncertainty, and the more we try to control every little detail, the more frustrated and anxious we're likely to become.
So it's not about giving up control altogether, but about recognizing the limits of our control and focusing our energy on the things we can actually influence.
Exactly. And that can be incredibly liberating. It allows us to let go of the things that are outside of our control and focus on making the most of the present moment.
That makes me think about Dr. Spector's comments about exercise. Maybe it's not about forcing ourselves to exercise solely for weight loss. But finding ways to move our bodies that we genuinely enjoy.
I love that perspective. It takes the pressure off and allows us to reconnect with the joy of movement.
Yes, and it aligns with Dr. Amen's point about exercise being beneficial for brain health. It doesn't have to be this grueling workout to have a positive impact.
Exactly, a brisk walk in nature. Dancing, playing with your kids, it all counts.
It all counts. The key seems to be finding something sustainable. Something that fits into your life and makes you feel good.
Absolutely. Sustainability is key
Yes.
when it comes to building healthy habits.
It's not about short-term fixes or extreme measures.
It's about finding practices that you can integrate into your life in a way that feels good and supports your overall well-being.
It's like building a toolbox.
I love that analogy.
Of healthy habits.
Yeah.
Drawing from these experts' insights and adapting them to our own unique lifestyle.
And remember that toolbox is constantly evolving as you learn and grow. You can add new tools, refine your techniques, and discard the ones that no longer serve you.
And maybe the most essential tool of all is our mindset.
Oh, yeah.
The ability to approach life with curiosity, resilience, and a willingness to learn and grow.
Couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
Cultivating a positive mindset is essential for navigating the inevitable challenges that life throws our way and for making the most of this precious journey we call life.
Speaking of powerful mindsets, there was one expert we haven't touched on yet.
Oh, okay. Who's that?
Dr. Andrew Huberman.
Okay.
His episode on the Diary of a CEO podcast was incredibly insightful.
It was a great episode.
It was, especially his explanation of how our nervous system regulates our stress response.
His work is groundbreaking.
It is.
He really breaks down how our nervous system is constantly scanning for threats. And when it perceives danger, whether real or imagined, our body goes into that fight or flight response.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's what helps us react quickly in dangerous situations. But I imagine in our modern world, that fight or flight response gets triggered way too often.
It does.
Even when there's no real danger.
Exactly. Think about all the things that trigger that stress response in our daily lives.
I know, like deadlines.
Deadlines, traffic jams. Social media notifications.
Social media notifications. Our nervous system is constantly on high alert.
It is.
And that takes a toll.
And it does.
On our bodies and our minds.
So it's not just about the big dramatic stressors. It's also about the accumulation of all those smaller everyday stressors that wear us down over time.
Precisely. And Dr. Huberman emphasizes that we have the power to regulate our nervous system.
We do.
And shift out of that chronic fight or flight mode.
We do.
I'm all ears. How do we do that?
One of the simplest and most effective techniques is deep diaphragmatic breathing. By consciously slowing down and deepening our breath, we send a signal to our nervous system that we're safe and that it can relax.
Breathing exercises. They sound so simple.
I know.
Yet so many experts point to their effectiveness.
It's amazing how something as fundamental as our breath can have such a profound impact on our physiology and our mental state.
And Dr. Huberman also highlights the importance of physical movement as a way to regulate the nervous system. So exercise isn't just about burning calories or building muscle. It can also help us calm our nervous system and manage stress.
Exactly. And it doesn't have to be anything strenuous. Even gentle movement like walking yoga or Tai Chi can be beneficial.
It's all about finding ways to bring our nervous system back into balance and cultivate a sense of calm amidst the chaos of modern life.
You know, another theme that emerged from these conversations was the idea of connecting with nature.
Oh, absolutely. Multiple experts, from Gary Brecka to Rangan Chatterjee, talked about the benefits of spending time in nature.
They did.
For both our mental and physical well-being.
It makes sense when you think about it. For most of human history, we lived in close proximity to nature.
Exactly.
It's only relatively recently that we've become so disconnected from the natural world.
And our bodies and minds are still craving that connection.
They are.
I've definitely noticed that even a short walk in the park can make a huge difference in how I feel.
There's actually a growing body of research that supports those anecdotal experiences.
Really?
Studies have shown that spending time in nature can lower stress hormones, improve mood, boost creativity, and enhance cognitive function.
It's like hitting the reset button on our nervous system and reminding ourselves that we're part of something larger than ourselves.
And that sense of connection can be incredibly grounding and restorative, especially in times of stress or overwhelm.
So if you're feeling stressed, anxious, or simply disconnected, perhaps the best medicine is a dose of nature.
I agree.
Go for a walk in the park, sit by a lake, or just step outside and take a few deep breaths of fresh air.
That's great advice.
It's amazing how such a simple act can have such a profound impact on our well-being.
It speaks to the wisdom of these ancient practices that are now being validated by modern science.
We're rediscovering the power of nature.
We are.
To heal and restore us. It's inspiring to think
It is.
that we have so much agency.
We do.
When it comes to our health and well-being.
Right.
We're not just passive recipients of our genes or our circumstances. We have choices.
We do.
And those choices matter.
They do.
Absolutely. And I think that's a key takeaway from these Diary of a CEO conversations. It's not about following a rigid set of rules or trying to be perfect. It's about learning, experimenting, and finding what works best for you.
Exactly. It's about embracing a holistic approach to health and longevity, recognizing that our physical, mental, and emotional well-being are all intricately interconnected.
And it's about finding joy in the journey. Appreciating the incredible capacity of our bodies and minds to heal, adapt, and thrive.
You know, speaking of joy and finding our Jay Shetty's episode on the Diary of a CEO podcast really stood out.
It did.
His message about aligning our actions with our values and finding a sense of purpose that fuels our passions really resonated with you.
It really resonated with me too. His message is so powerful.
It is.
Because it speaks to our deepest human needs.
It does.
The need for meaning, connection, and contribution.
He argues that true happiness comes from contributing to something larger than ourselves.
I love that. It's not just about pursuing our own individual happiness. It's about recognizing that we are all interconnected and that our actions have ripple effects that extend far beyond ourselves.
Exactly. When we focus on serving others, we shift our attention away from our own ego and our own limited perspective.
It's like we're tapping into a wellspring of energy, motivation that comes from knowing that we're making a positive difference in the world.
And that can be incredibly empowering.
It is.
It gives our lives a sense of purpose and reminds us that we are not alone in this journey.
So if you're feeling lost, unfulfilled, or simply lacking direction, perhaps the answer lies in finding a way to serve others.
I think so.
It could be volunteering in your community, mentoring a young person, or simply lending a helping hand to a friend or neighbor.
Even small acts of kindness can have a profound impact.
They can?
Not just on the recipient, but on the giver as well.
It's about finding ways to connect with our hearts, tap into our compassion, and contribute to a world that is more just kind and loving.
Those are values worth striving for.
Yeah.
And the beautiful thing is that when we live a life that is aligned with our values, it naturally leads to greater happiness and fulfillment.
It's amazing how all these insights from such diverse experts seem to converge on a few core themes.
Did he do?
The importance of holistic well-being, the power of mindset, the connection between our physical and mental health, and the significance of finding meaning and purpose in our lives.
It's like we're piecing together a puzzle. And each expert's insights provide another piece that helps us to see the bigger picture.
And that bigger picture is a vision of a life that is not just long, but truly fulfilling. A life that is rich in connection, purpose, and joy.
That's a beautiful way to put it.
It is.
And I think it speaks to the heart of what it means to live a truly vibrant life, a life that is not just about surviving, but thriving.
You know, one practice that seems to be woven through many of these experts' advice is mindfulness.
Mindfulness is definitely having a moment right now.
Yeah, it is.
And for good reason. There's a growing body of research that highlights its benefits for both our mental and physical health.
But mindfulness is one of those words that gets thrown around a lot.
Yeah.
I think it's helpful to define exactly what it means.
Yeah, at its core.
Mindfulness is the practice of paying attention to the present moment without judgment. It's about becoming aware of our thoughts, feelings, and bodily sensations without getting swept away by them.
So it's not about emptying our minds or stopping our thoughts altogether, but about observing them with a sense of curiosity and acceptance.
Exactly. And the more we practice, the more we develop the ability to choose how we respond to our thoughts and emotions rather than being controlled by them.
It's like we're creating a space between our thoughts and our reactions, which gives us more freedom and agency in how we experience the world.
Precisely. And that can be incredibly empowering.
Yeah.
It allows us to break free from habitual patterns of thinking and behaving. And to choose responses that are more aligned with our values and goals.
And one of the things that's so appealing about mindfulness
is that you can practice it anywhere, anytime.
You can.
It doesn't require special equipment or setting aside a huge chunk of time.
That's one of the best things about it.
Yeah, you can practice mindfulness while walking, eating, showering, or even waiting in line at the grocery store.
You can?
It's about bringing a quality of attention to whatever you're doing. Whether it's something mundane or something extraordinary.
And as you practice, you gradually cultivate that sense of presence and awareness that permeates your entire life.
And that presence and awareness can have a ripple effect.
It can.
On every aspect of our well-being. It can help you to savor the good moments. Navigate the challenging ones with more grace. And appreciate the simple things that often go unnoticed.
I love that.
It's about slowing down, tuning in, and truly experiencing life as it unfolds.
You know, Dr. Huberman also talked about how mindfulness practices
that's right. Can actually shift us.
They can.
Out of that chronic fight or flight response we were talking about earlier.
He mentioned that practices like deep breathing and meditation send a signal to our nervous system that we're safe and that it can relax. This allows our bodies to move out of that state of hyperarousal and into a state of rest and repair.
So mindfulness can be a powerful tool for managing stress, anxiety, and even physical health conditions that are exacerbated by chronic stress.
Absolutely. And the more we practice, the more readily we can access that state of calm and clarity whenever we need it.
It's like we're building a muscle of mindfulness and can flex whenever we're feeling overwhelmed, stressed, or simply disconnected from ourselves.
And speaking of muscles, Matthew Walker had a lot to say about the importance of sleep for muscle recovery and overall physical health. Did you know that mindfulness can even be helpful?
That's interesting. I hadn't thought about that connection before.
For improving sleep quality.
Yeah. How so?
Well, think about what often keeps us awake at night. Racing thoughts, worries, anxieties. Practicing mindfulness before bed. Whether it's through meditation, gentle stretching, or simply focusing on our breath can help calm the mind, relax the body, and prepare us for a more restful night's sleep.
It's about creating a space for stillness and quietude.
Exactly.
Before we drift off to sleep.
And that stillness and quietude can be incredibly restorative.
Yeah.
Allowing our bodies and minds to truly recharge and rejuvenate during those precious hours of sleep.
You know, it's fascinating how all these practices,
it is,
from mindfulness to deep breathing to prioritizing sleep, seem to work together synergistically.
They do.
To support our overall well-being.
It's a reminder that our health isn't just about isolated actions.
Right.
It's about creating a lifestyle that supports our physical, mental, and emotional needs.
And that lifestyle isn't about perfection or deprivation.
Right.
It's about finding a balance that feels good. Sustainable.
It is.
A balance that allows us to thrive in all areas of our lives.
It's about creating a life that is not just long, but truly vibrant. A life that is full of purpose, joy, and deep connection.
And speaking of connection,
yes,
so many of these experts emphasize the importance of social connection as a key factor in health and longevity.
It's a theme that runs throughout these conversations, isn't it?
It is.
From Dr. Amen's point about loneliness, accelerating cognitive decline, to Rangan Chatterjee's concept of stress contagion, it's clear that our relationships have a profound impact on our well-being.
It makes sense, right?
It does.
We are social creatures by nature, and our need for connection is as fundamental as our need for food and water.
Absolutely. Our relationships provide us with a sense of belonging, support, and purpose. They help us to cope with stress, navigate challenges, and celebrate life's joys.
And strong social connections have been linked to a wide range of health benefits, including lower blood pressure, reduced risk of heart disease, improved immune function, and even increased longevity.
It's like our relationships are a vital nutrient.
I love that analogy.
That nourishes our bodies and minds.
So if you're looking to improve your health and well-being, nurturing your relationships might be one of the most powerful things
it could be.
You can do. Spend time with loved ones. Reach out to old friends. Join a group or club that aligns with your interests.
And don't underestimate the power of simple gestures of kindness and connection.
Yes, a smile, a listening ear. Or a helping hand can go a long way in strengthening our social bonds.
It can.
And enhancing our overall well-being.
It's about creating a web of support that surrounds us and helps us to thrive, even in the face of life's inevitable challenges.
And that web of support can make all the difference.
It can.
In our ability to live a long, healthy, and fulfilling life.
It's a reminder that we're not meant to go through life alone. We're meant to connect, to support each other. And to celebrate the journey together.
You know, another theme that resonated with me
from
these Diaries to CEO conversations was the importance of finding our purpose. Or why for living.
It's a theme that seems to underpin all aspects
of
health and well-being, doesn't it?
Yeah, whether it's motivating us to exercise, giving us the resilience to face stress, or simply inspiring us to live a life that feels meaningful. Having a sense of purpose can be incredibly powerful.
It's like our purpose acts as a compass, guiding our decisions and actions, and giving our lives a sense of direction.
And it doesn't have to be something grand or extraordinary. It can be as simple as wanting to make a difference in your community, raise kind and compassionate children, or simply live a life that is aligned with your values.
The key seems to be that it feels authentic and meaningful to you. It's about connecting with your heart and asking yourself, what do I truly care about? What legacy do I want to leave behind?
And the answers to those questions can have a profound impact on how you live your life.
They can guide your choices, fuel your passions, and give you a sense of fulfillment that transcends the pursuit of material possessions or external validation.
It's about living a life that feels aligned with your soul's purpose. And I think that's something we all crave.
I agree.
Whether we realize it or not.
You know, another powerful practice that several of these experts touched on is gratitude.
Oh, yes, gratitude.
It might seem like a simple concept, but the research on its benefits is quite impressive.
Gratitude is definitely having a moment.
It is.
But like mindfulness, is a word that gets tossed around a lot.
It does.
I think it's helpful to define what we mean by gratitude.
Yeah, at its core.
Yeah.
Gratitude is the practice of appreciating the good things in our lives, both big and small. It's about noticing and acknowledging the positive aspects of our experiences, even amidst challenges and difficulties.
So it's not about ignoring the negative or pretending that everything is perfect.
No.
But about choosing to focus on the things that we're thankful for.
Exactly. And the more we practice, the more we cultivate a positive mindset that can literally transform the way we experience the world.
It's like training our brains to see the good.
Yes.
To appreciate the beauty and abundance that surrounds us, even when things are tough.
And that shift in perspective can be incredibly powerful.
It is.
It can help us to feel more content, more resilient, and more connected to ourselves and the world around us.
One of the things I find particularly helpful about gratitude is that it can be practiced in so many different ways.
You can.
We can keep a gratitude journal.
You can.
Write thank you notes. Or simply take a few moments each day to reflect on the things we're grateful for.
And those reflections don't have to be complicated or elaborate. They can be as simple as appreciating the warmth of the sun on your skin. The taste of a delicious meal. Or the sound of laughter.
It's about slowing down.
It is.
Tuning in and savoring those little moments of joy and appreciation that are often so easy to miss in the busyness of daily life.
And, you know, Dr. Huberman also talked about...
The impact of gratitude on our nervous system.
He explained how expressing gratitude can actually shift us out of that fight or flight response and into a state of relaxation and well-being.
It's like we're sending a signal to our nervous system that everything is okay.
That everything is okay, that we're safe and secure. This allows our body to move out of that state of hyperarousal and into a state of rest and repair.
So gratitude can be a powerful tool.
It is.
For managing stress, anxiety, and even physical health conditions that are exacerbated by chronic stress.
Absolutely. And the more we practice gratitude, the more readily we can access that state of calm and well-being whenever we need it.
It's like we're building a muscle of gratitude that we can flex whenever we're feeling overwhelmed, stressed.
Or simply disconnected from the good things in our lives.
It's a simple yet powerful practice that can have a profound impact on our overall well-being.
You know, something else that really stood out to me from these conversations was the importance of self-compassion.
Self-compassion is definitely a key ingredient in health and happiness. And it's something that a lot of us struggle with.
We do.
We tend to be much harder on ourselves than we'd ever be on a friend.
It's true. We often hold ourselves to these impossibly high standards.
We do.
And beat ourselves up when we make mistakes.
And that's where self-compassion comes in. It's about recognizing that we're all imperfect human beings who make mistakes and experience setbacks, and that it's okay to be kind to ourselves in the midst of those challenges.
So it's not about letting ourselves off the hook or lowering our standards, but about treating ourselves with the same kindness and understanding that we would offer to a friend who's going through a difficult time.
And the more we practice self-compassion, the more we cultivate a sense of inner peace and resilience that can help us to navigate the inevitable ups and downs of life.
I've noticed that when I'm able to offer myself compassion, it's much easier to let go of those negative thought patterns and to bounce back from setbacks.
So it's like self-compassion creates a buffer between us and those harsh inner critics that can so easily derail our efforts to live a healthier, happier life.
And Dr. Huberman even talked about how self-compassion can impact our nervous system.
Yeah, he explained that when we offer ourselves compassion, we send a signal to our nervous system that we're safe and that it's okay to relax. This allows our body to move out of that state of hyperarousal and into a state of rest and repair.
So self-compassion can be a powerful tool
for
managing stress, anxiety, and even physical health conditions that are exacerbated by chronic stress.
Absolutely. And the more we practice, the more readily we can access that state of calm and well-being whenever we need it.
It's like we're building a muscle of self-compassion
We are.
That we can flex whenever we're feeling overwhelmed, stressed, or simply down on ourselves.
And that muscle can be incredibly valuable.
It is.
Not just for navigating the challenges of daily life, but for cultivating a deeper sense of self-love and acceptance.
Another important topic that emerged from these conversations was the idea of cultivating a growth mindset.
A growth mindset is a game changer.
It is.
It's the belief that our abilities and intelligence are not fixed, but can be developed through effort and learning.
It's about embracing challenges as opportunities for growth.
Exactly.
Rather than fearing failure. Or shying away from new experiences.
And this shift in perspective can have a profound impact on our motivation, our resilience, and our overall success in life. When we believe that we can learn and grow, we're more likely to take risks, persevere in the face of challenges, and ultimately achieve our goals.
And a growth mindset can be applied to any area of our lives.
Absolutely.
It's not just about academic or professional achievements.
It's about embracing a lifelong journey of learning and development.
Whether we're trying to learn a new language, improve our fitness, or navigate a difficult relationship, approaching these endeavors with a growth mindset can make a world of difference.
Absolutely.
It's about seeing every experience as an opportunity to learn, to grow, and to become a more well-rounded and capable individual.
And the fascinating thing is that research has actually shown that when we adopt a growth mindset, our brains become more adaptable and flexible.
Wow.
Which enhances our ability to learn and problem solve.
So it's not just about positive thinking.
Right.
It's about literally changing the way our brains function.
Exactly.
That's incredible.
It is. It really speaks to the power of our beliefs and how they can shape our reality. When we believe that we are capable of growth, our brains actually rewire themselves to support that growth.
You know, Gary Brecka talked a lot about the importance of taking care of our physical health. And I think a growth mindset can play a huge role in that area as well.
Absolutely. When we have a growth mindset, we're more likely to approach exercise as a challenge that we can conquer, rather than as a chore to be dreaded. We're also more likely to be patient with ourselves as we work towards our fitness goals, recognizing that progress takes time and effort.
It's about enjoying the journey of getting healthier rather than fixating on the end goal.
And that shift in perspective can make all the difference in our motivation and our success in achieving our health and fitness aspirations.
Amazing how all these insights from such diverse experts seem to converge on a few core themes.
They do.
The importance of mindset, the power of self-compassion, the connection between our physical and mental health, and the significance of finding meaning and purpose in our lives.
It's like we're weaving a tapestry, and each expert's insights provide another thread that enriches the overall design.
And that tapestry is a vision of a life that is not just long, but truly fulfilling. A life that is rich in connection, purpose, and joy.
And that's a vision worth striving for.
It is.
You know, one thing that struck me as we were going through these insights was how many of the experts emphasize the importance of slowing down, tuning and connecting with ourselves on a deeper level.
That's so true, it seems like. In our fast-paced, hyper-connected world, we've lost touch with that inner stillness, that quiet space within, where we can connect with our intuition, our values, and our deepest desires.
And that disconnection can have a profound impact on our well-being.
It can.
When we're constantly rushing from one thing to the next, we're not giving ourselves the time and space to reflect, to recharge, and to connect with what truly matters.
It's like we're living on autopilot.
It is.
Going through the motions without really being present in our lives.
And that can lead to a sense of emptiness, dissatisfaction, and even burnout. We're so busy doing that we forget to simply be.
So how do we reclaim that inner stillness?
That's the question.
How do we slow down and reconnect with ourselves in a world that seems to be constantly pushing us to do more, be more, achieve more?
Well, mindfulness is certainly one powerful tool. By practicing mindfulness, we cultivate the ability to pause, to observe our thoughts and feelings without judgment, and to simply be present in the moment.
It's like hitting the pause button on a chaos of our minds.
It is.
And allowing ourselves to just breathe.
Yeah.
To feel, to be.
And it doesn't require hours of meditation or a retreat to a remote monastery.
Yeah.
We can incorporate mindfulness into our everyday lives, whether it's through a few minutes of meditation each morning, mindful walking in nature, or simply paying attention to our breath as we go about our day.
It's about bringing that quality of presence and awareness to everything we do.
Yes.
Whether it's washing the dishes, having a conversation with a loved one, or simply taking a walk in the park.
You know, another powerful practice that can help us connect with ourselves on a deeper level is journaling.
Oh, I love journaling. Yeah. It's such a powerful tool.
It is.
For self-discovery and reflection.
By putting our thoughts and feelings down on paper, we're able to gain a deeper understanding of ourselves, to process our emotions, and to identify patterns and insights that might not be apparent in the busyness of our daily lives.
I've found that journaling can be incredibly helpful.
It can.
For working through challenges, for setting goals, and for simply making sense of my experiences.
Yeah, it's like having a conversation with yourself.
It is.
A safe space to explore your thoughts and feelings without judgment.
And the act of writing itself can be very therapeutic.
It can.
It allows us to slow down, to focus, and to connect with our inner wisdom.
So mindfulness journaling, spending time in nature, these are all powerful tools for reclaiming that inner stillness and reconnecting with ourselves.
And that connection is so vital for our overall well-being.
When we're connected to ourselves, we're better able to make choices that are aligned with our values.
Yeah.
To set healthy boundaries. And to cultivate relationships that nourish us.
It's like we're building a strong foundation from the inside out.
And that foundation is essential for creating a life that is not just long, but truly fulfilling.
This deep dive has been incredibly insightful.
It has.
We've covered so much ground.
We have.
From the surprising truth about exercise and artificial sweeteners, to the power of fasting and the importance of sleep, to the profound impact of stress mindset and even self-compassion.
And what's amazing is that while each of these experts had their unique perspective, their insights all seem to point to a few core themes.
They do.
The interconnectedness of our physical, mental, and emotional well-being, the power we have to shape our own health destiny, and the importance of finding practices that resonate with us and that we can integrate into our daily lives.
It's about creating a lifestyle.
It is.
That supports our well-being on every level.
Yeah.
Not just physically,
but
mentally, emotionally, and even spiritually.
It's about recognizing that true health is not just the absence of disease, but a state of vibrant well-being. That allows us to live our lives to the fullest.
Exactly. It's about thriving, not just surviving.
I love that.
And it's inspiring to think that we have so much more control over our health and happiness than we often realize.
Absolutely. We're not just passive recipients of our genes or our circumstances. We have choices, and those choices matter.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into the wisdom of these incredible experts, I'd love to leave you with this question. What one small change inspired by this deep dive will you commit to implementing in your own life?
Maybe it's prioritizing sleep, incorporating mindfulness into your daily routine, nurturing your social connections, or simply practicing more self-compassion.
Whatever it is, we encourage you to embrace this journey.
Yes.
With a sense of curiosity, experimentation, and a belief in your own ability to create a life that is not just long, but truly vibrant and fulfilling.
Remember, it's not about perfection, it's about progress.
That's right.
Small changes made consistently over time can have a profound impact on your health, your happiness, and your longevity.
So keep exploring.
Yes.
Keep learning. Keep growing. And keep diving deep into the fascinating world of health and well-being.
I agree.
Until next time.